This might be the stupidest thing I've ever done. I don't actually know how to start this video, dog. This is a lot. Hello. Today I am going to be telling you, factually, which Baldur's Gate 3 character every single Taylor Swift song is about. I'm aware that this is a very silly premise for a video. I feel I need to first credit the idea for this video to one of my favorite creators of all time, literally ever, Hayley Whipjack, who did these videos ranking Baldur's Gate companions, but the category in which they are being ranked gets increasingly silly, going from like which companion would most likely actually lead the group to which one would win at Mario Kart. That got me thinking, because I love Baldur's Gate 3. Oh boy, I love it so much. I think about these little guys, all of these little guys, I think about them. They live in my brain all the time. And when I'm not thinking about the little guys from Baldur's Gate, I am most likely listening to Taylor Swift. And after watching these brilliant videos by Hayley Whipjack, it occurred to me that I could combine both of my great loves in life, and now we're here, in front of a giant board with all the little guys. You may be thinking, hey, Lani, there's one little guy missing. Oh, I don't actually know where I put him. I think he's down here. Don't worry, I didn't forget everyone's favorite companion, Minsk. He just lives on a whiteboard, because I'm gonna be so honest and so upfront with you guys, he's got like 2 songs. That's it. So, Minsk lives on the whiteboard, and I'm just gonna put him down for now, because I don't think we'll be seeing him until a little bit later. Spoiler alert. Okay, so how this video works is we are going to go through each of Taylor Swift's albums one by one, all 12 of them. I believe there's 12. And we're going to go through song by song, and I am going to tell you definitively which Baldur's Gate 3 companion that song is actually about. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you know that, I'm super open to people coming in and correcting me and telling me more information about the stuff that I'm talking about. Not this time. This time, I need you to know I'm objectively right about this. These are not opinions, these are straight fucking facts. I have put a lot of thought into this. Too much thought into this. This is a very silly thing for me to have spent so much time working on. But here we go. Let's get into it. Taylor Swift's first album is, unsurprisingly, just called Taylor Swift. It was her debut album, came out in 2006. It's very country. It's very 16-year-old girl. And the first song that we have from Taylor Swift is Tim McGraw. Was this her first single? Maybe. So song number 1, Tim McGraw, is going to Karlak. Can I stick that up there with one hand? There we go! Look at that! Specifically, the lyric that I have pulled out of Tim McGraw to be very, Karlak-like is, "And I was right there beside him all summer long, and then the time we woke up to find that summer gone." Okay, I read that terribly. But the song is her going through all of these things, like, when you think about this, I hope you think about me. And anytime there's a song that's talking about, when I'm gone, I hope you still miss me and remember me, I think about Karlak, because she's gone. Song number 2, swiftly following that, Picture to Burn, is also Karlak. And it's not just because she's literally on fire all the time, but I mean that does sort of like help. But the line where she's like, "So watch me strike a match on all my wasted time," that's very Karlak. That's like Karlak at Gortash, Moving on, number 3, Teardrops on My Guitar. This song is about Halsin. Some of these song names get very long. This is going to be a very crowded board soon. But this is a song about seeing the person that you love be with someone else. She says she better hold him tight, give him all the love, look in those beautiful eyes and know she's lucky. And that made me think of Halsin because of the way that he's the only one who will come and romantically pursue you if you're already with someone else. And you can turn him down and then he's just there, longing, yearning. Ugh. So good. Next is A Place in This World, and this song is about Lae'zel. I don't know the song very well, but I read the lyrics to the song and was like, oh my god, there has never been a more Lae'zel song in the world. It says, "I'm alone, on my own, and that's all I know. I'll be strong, I'll be wrong, oh, but life goes on. I'm just a girl, trying to find a place in this world." And that's quite literal with Lae'zel, because she is literally not from our world, and she is here trying to find her place in it. Isn't that cute? Number 5 is Cold As You. This is our first track 5. Track 5s are important in Taylor Swift albums, because she says they're the songs that are typically her most vulnerable and emotional. And on her first album, that is Cold As You. And that goes to Astarion. Oh, I stuck it on his face. I'm gonna be so honest. A lot of this is because I know he's the coldest, because he's a vampire. This video is going to be full of spoilers. I should clarify that now. I'm not saying that because I think Astarion being a vampire is a spoiler. Nobody thought that guy wasn't a vampire. We all saw him and were like, that's a vampire. Yeah, maybe I should have led with the whole, like, this is going to be very spoiler heavy. Number 6 is The Outside. Why would you do that to me? Number 6, The Outside. This is Will. This song made me think of Will and the fact that he's like, you know, cast out from his home where he grew up, and then he's having to find his place in the world all on his own and without his family. Specifically, I got a lyric, I've got nowhere to go. I tried to take the road less traveled by, but nothing seems to work the first few times. Am I right? And also, I've been in a lot of lonely places. I've never been on the outside. Oh, it makes me sad. This is tied together with a smile. This is also about Will. I'm just now realizing that I have written these names really, really big. And there's like not a lot of spaces in these squares. Get up there. This song, she talks about, like, you know, seems like the only person who doesn't know how beautiful you are is you. And that's very Will, like, when he gets all sort of, like, devilified and he's got all the horns and stuff and he, like, asks you what you see and you can be like, I think you're one cute-looking guy, or something like that. Stay Beautiful is about Shadowheart. I lost her. She's down here. Gotta be totally honest, it's just the vibes. Should have said no. One of my favourite songs off this album is about Halcyon. I've written these names way too big, haven't I? There's no going back now. But I think this is a Halcyon song because of, like, the way that he interacts with Korga after you do the whole, like, Emerald Grove, Shadow Druid stuff, and she's all like, I made a mistake, and he's like, yeah, you never should have done that in the first place, dog. Mary's song. His face is getting covered. Oh, fuck. Okay, Mary's song is Will, and it's the vibes. Our song, Karlach, also vibes. I'm only me when I'm with you. This is a Shadowheart song. She's putting on a face with all of her Shah stuff, but then when you actually get to know her, you get to know the real her. Invisible is Gale. Specifically, there's a line in here, I just want to show you, she don't even know you. There's gonna be a lot of songs in here that are about Mystra being a bitch. I'm just warning you now, I feel very strongly about this. And then finally, our last song on Taylor Swift is A Perfectly Good Heart. This one goes to Karlach. I don't think I need to explain that one. Hee. Moving on to album number 2, Fearless. I'm gonna have a coffee break first. I have coffee on my face. No, okay. Pick it up right where we left off. Our title track for Fearless goes to Karlach. That was one of the easiest songs to assign in my head. I heard that song and was like, this is just Karlach, man. It's a Karlach song. Track number 2, 15. This one is about Will. A lot of the sort of like high school, teenage years related ones make me think of Will, especially because he was so young when he made his pact with Mizora. He was only 17. And like in the song she says, when you're 15, feeling like there's nothing left to figure out, and then 2 years later Will goes along and makes a pact with a devil, and suddenly nothing is the same anymore. Oh dear. Oh, then immediately following that, Love Story, one of Taylor Swift's biggest songs of all time. Everyone knows this song, but this is also a Will song. Will gets a lot of high school songs, and he gets a lot of, like, fairy tale songs. Because look at him! He deserves them! He's just a lovely little romantic little guy. Track number 4, Hey Steven. This goes to Gale. Specifically, there's a line in there, come feel this magic I've been feeling since I met you. That could only be about our little magic guy. He's so magical. Number 5, White Horse. This is about Will. Literally says, I'm not a princess, this ain't a fairy tale. It's about fairy tales, it's about Will. Except, like, he kind of is a princess, really. And I love that for him. Oh, also White Horse is a track 5. Next up, You Belong With Me. This is a Minsk song. I just think he would like it. I lost my Minsk board. Oh no. Oh, it's too big for the Minsk board. Oh no. I did not factor in the size of the Minsk board when I made these names. Minsk. Next up is Breathe. I think this is an underrated song. I really like this one. This song is about Karlak. In the song, she says, I see your face in my mind as I drive away, because none of us thought it was gonna end this way. And I feel like that's very Karlak, because we all thought we were gonna save her, didn't we? None of us thought it was gonna end that way, did we? I'm still upset about it. Number 8 is Tell Me Why. And this is a Gale song. At one point, have I turned the volume? I've muted myself. I don't know when I muted myself. Anyway. Tell Me Why is about Gale. Because specifically the one line that stood out to me was, down here from the ground, I see who you are. And if that ain't Gale and Mistra, then I don't know what is. And then in a very similar vein, immediately following that, we have You're Not Sorry, which is also Gale. Could have loved you all my life if you hadn't left me waiting in the cold. Next is The Way I Loved You, and I thought this was very Astarian. I'm gonna regret putting them down there when I have to like reach up to the tall ones later. I never knew I could feel that much, and that's the way I loved you. That feels very Astarian. Forever and Always is Gale. Oh, I'm covering his beautiful eyes. The Best Day is Karlak. That little moment that you get with her in the graveyard when she goes to her parents' grave. Oh my god. Okay, I may have been wrong in my initial assessment of how many songs I had for Minsk, because the next song, Change, is also a Minsk song. He's got 2 on the board. Look at him go. Jump Then Fall. This was a tough one. I didn't know who to put this with, but I went with Gale in the end. I don't really remember why. The next song is Untouchable. This is about Karlak. Don't hate me. Come In With the Rain. This is one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. I'd say it's probably in my top 10. I think it's a very underrated song. More people should listen to the song. Also, it's a Gale song. I've got you down, I know you by heart, and you don't even know where I start. Very Mistra. Oh, and then on a similar note, Superstar, also Gale. I don't like that song. Oh, but then like complete 180, going from Superstar, a song I very much do not like, to The Other Side of the Door. This is in, I think, my top 5. This was it was my most listened to song a couple of years ago, and it is so goddamn good. And if you don't know it, you should know it. It's really good. And this is an Astarian song. But this song, she says, I said leave, but all I really want is you to stand outside my door screaming I'm in love with you. Love that little guy. Number 19. Today Was a Fairy Tale. Now, you may think from everything I just said about all of the fairy tale songs being Will that I would be picking Will. I'm picking Gale. Because she says, can you feel this magic in the air? It must have been the way you kissed me. He's our little magic man. Ooh, this is a sad one. You All Over Me. This is an Astarian song. Okay, I have a long lyric, bear with me here. I lived, I learned, had you, got burned, held out and held on, God knows too long, and wasted time, lost tears, swore that I'd get out of here, but no amount of freedom gets you clean, I've still got you all over me. And just think about Astarian with that. Just let that mull over for a little bit. I'm gonna make myself cry. Then we have Mr. Perfectly Fine. It's a Gale song again. So far above me in every sense, so far above feeling anything. Mistra. Damn. Next one, We Were Happy. Karlak. Before I had somewhere to be, back when we had all night and we were happy. Karlak makes me so sad. Number 23, That's When. That's an Astarian song. Number 24, Don't You, Gale. In that song, she says, sometimes I really wish that I could hate you. I've tried, but that's just something I can't do. And like, if you think about Gale and the fact that he has all of this beef with Mistra, but she's literally his goddess and like the source of his power. Oh my god. Oh, and then immediately following that, Bye Bye Baby, also Gale. I have more lyrics. I want you bad, but it's come down to nothing, and all I have is your sympathy, 'cause you took me home, but you just couldn't keep me. And then also, there's so much that I can't touch, you're all I want, but it's not enough this time. Gale, I hate to break it to you, but that's just sort of what you get when you fall in love with a goddess, you know? Like, that's not gonna end well for anyone. Album number 3, Speak Now! And our first song from Speak Now is Mine, which goes to Lae'zel. But the whole, you made a rebel of a careless man's careful daughter, it's very Lae'zel. Number 2, Sparks Fly, goes to Shadowheart. And she says, I'm on my guard for the rest of the world, but with you, I know it's no good. It's the same thing as I'm only me when I'm with you, you know? Track 3, Back to December. This is about Jahira. So happy for her. She finally gets a song. A lot of the songs that we have up here are about the companions' romances and past romances, especially this guy. Oh my god. And with Jahira, that is the case for some of the songs, but Back to December specifically, I see as her, like, with her kids, you know? Because of the way she, like, just sort of, like, low-key abandons them and then comes back and is trying to be apologetic, but also just isn't very good at it, and it just made me think of Jahira. Then we have Speak Now, the title track from this album. This is a song all about crashing someone's wedding to, you know, declare your love for the person getting married, and I thought the companion who was most likely to do that is Will, because he's just so romantic. I feel like he would come and crash a wedding in the name of true love. And then, complete tone shift, Dear John. This is our track 5. This is, I think, one of Taylor Swift's best songs, I'm gonna be totally honest. And I thought this song could be about a lot of them, because this, oh boy, what a song. But in the end, I gave it to Will. Specifically because of how in the song she says, don't you think 19 was too young? But it's even worse because Will was 17 when he made his pact with Mistra. No, not Mistra. I've forgotten her name. Mizora. There we go. Oh my god. Sometimes I just think about Will and I just get really sad. He's the only Origin run that I've done. I'm very attached to him. Next track is Mean, and I think this is a Carlac song. I just think she'd like it. Then we have The Story of Us, which goes to Gale. Especially, I think, if you think about, like, his God ending, saying, like, now I'm standing alone in a crowded room and we're not speaking, like, him and Mistra both being gods would be kind of awkward. Oh, and also, I used to know my spot was a place next to you, now I'm searching the room for an empty seat, because he was Mistra's chosen, and now he's decidedly not. Also, there's a lot of references to books, and Gale likes books. Never Grow Up is Carlac. Enchanted is Will. Better Than Revenge is Minthara. And this is her first song, yay for her. But specifically the original lyrics, because I just think she would, you know? Innocent, the song famously written about Taylor's relationship with Kanye West after he interrupted her at that award show, I don't remember which one it was, I think is about Shadowheart. What do we got for lyrics? Did some things you can't speak of, but at night you live it all again. You wouldn't be shattered on the floor now if you only had seen what you know now then. Is, you know, the hindsight and all. Because I feel like Selûnite Shadowheart must just be going through it, trying to come to terms with everything she did as a Shah worshipper. Next track is Haunted. Another one of my favorites. Very good song. And I think this is an Astarion song. But specifically, I think it's like an Ascended Astarion song. Now, let me make this very clear. I don't like Ascended Astarion. I think that is objectively his bad ending. But I love the idea of this song in terms of like, because like in the song itself, she talks about being with someone, but then being haunted by this person that she used to be with and being like, oh, you're gone and I can't deal with that. And like every time I'm with this other person, it's great, but I'm thinking about you, you know? And I love the idea of that being Ascended Astarion, you know, the player is with Ascended Astarion and they're like, oh god, but no, not like this. And is haunted by who Astarion used to be and who Astarion could have been, you know? I'm really happy with that choice. It's like, seriously, go and listen to Haunted and think about Astarion and it'll get you in your feels. Next is Last Kiss. Another underrated song, I feel. And I think this is Gale. Long Live, I think is about Carlac. My biggest Taylor Swift hot take is that I don't really like Long Live. Sorry. I just don't vibe with it. Next is Ours. I don't like this song, but that's then immediately followed by Superman, which is a song that I do like, which is apparently a controversial opinion. A lot of people don't like Superman. I love it. I think it's so much fun. But Superman, just like Ours, I think is about Gale. A lot of the songs that Taylor Swift wrote about John Mayer make me think of Gale and Mistra, because it's like an age gap, power dynamic, rut-row sort of relationship. So both of those are lumped in together for Gale. Electric Touch is Karlach. Great lyric from this one. Got a history of stories ending sadly. Still hoping that the fire won't burn me just one time. Oh my god. This is so very, very Karlach. When Emma Falls in Love, underrated song. I see people saying this is her worst song. I don't understand. It's so cute. And I think it's about Will. It's going up the top. Next, I Can See You. This is such a Shadowheart song. The vibes of it are so Shadowheart. Castles Crumbling, Jaheira. Can I be so honest? I was disappointed by the song. I got so excited when I saw that Taylor Swift was doing a song with Hayley Williams. It just didn't slap. It's got some great lyrics in it though. Like, I don't want to be a hater. The Jaheira lyric in here is, "And here I sit alone behind walls of regret, falling down like the promises that I never kept." It's about her kids again. Jaheira, go hang out with your kids. Jaheira, your kids miss you. Foolish One. Banger of a song, and there's only one person that this song could be about, and it's Gale. The amount of songs that Gale currently has up, only 3 albums in, are really making me think he needs to get over Mistra right the fuck now. Gale needs to listen to Foolish One. He needs to just really sit there and just really listen. As Taylor Swift says, you are not the exception. You will never learn your lesson. And then finally, last song on Speak Now is Timeless, and this is about Will because it's just so darn romantic. Red was the first Taylor Swift album that I owned. I had the CD of it in my dad's car and we would listen to it. Well, I would force him to listen to it every time we went on a road trip. And so this is like my most nostalgic album. And song number 1, State of Grace, is in my top 3. It's probably my second favorite Taylor Swift song of all time. We'll get to number 1, believe me. But State of Grace is a Karlach song. The whole bridge of this song I feel is so Karlach. It says, "This is a state of grace. This is the worthwhile fight. Love is a ruthless game unless you play it good and right. These are the hands of fate. You're my Achilles heel. This is the golden age of something good and right and real." The song is so good! I love the song so much. I think it's genuinely her best album opener of all time. Track 2 is Red, which is about Minthara. Look at her go. 2 whole songs on the board. Treacherous is about Astarion. Such a good song. Underrated song. I Knew You Were Trouble is a Minthara song, and if you've romanced Minthara, then you'll get what I mean with this. Red's track 5, perhaps the most iconic track 5 of all time, All Too Well. And this goes to Karlach. There are a lot of songs that I've got here in my list that I think if you take away the romance aspect of the relationship it's talking about, fit really, really well for Karlach and Gortash. And they make me so emotional. I forgot that I picked this. 22 is Lae'zel, because I'm pretty sure she's canonically 22 in the game, or very close to it at least. And I just thought that was really funny. And I like to think that Lae'zel genuinely would like that song. I can't explain why. I just get the feeling she would. And as we've established, I am correct in this video. Everything I say is objectively true. So Lae'zel loves 22. Oh. I almost do. This is an underrated song and a very, very good song, and it is about Gale. In my dreams, you're touching my face and asking me if I want to try again, and I almost do. Mistra, when I catch you, I'm gonna fuck you up. This is so exciting. We're moving on to our second board. I have all of the song titles on giant boards. They're double-sided. This is a very long one. We are never ever getting back together. And this is a Karlach song. I don't know where to put this. Is that good? Next one, Stay, Stay, Stay. It will never not be funny to me that she did We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, immediately followed by Stay, Stay, Stay. This is a Jaheira song, by the way. But I also think it's brilliant because she said, I believe this is something she said, not just something that I'm making up, but like, I could be making it up. But there's a lot of like real intense juxtaposition between the songs that follow each other on Red, and that was meant to sort of encapsulate, you know, the state of mind of being 22. And as a 23-year-old, I can attest to that. Next is The Last Time. Now this one I really struggled with. I actually had to recruit the help of my dear, dear, dear friend Annabelle. Hello Annabelle. Because I could not for the life of me figure who The Last Time was about. And she suggested Shadowheart, which I thought was a bloody great suggestion. And also, Listen, I know I'm saying this a lot, but this is genuinely a really underrated song, and more people need to listen to it, because it's so good. Oh, and hey, double whammy, next song, Holy Ground, is also about Shadowheart. Holy Ground is one of my favorites off this album. It is such a good song, and I think it really suits Shadowheart. A lot of the songs with, like, religious imagery and undertones are very, very Shadowheart, as can sort of be expected. She's the cleric of the party. But like the main line in Holy Ground is right there where we stood was Holy Ground. And I love the idea of Shadowheart finding that holiness, that divinity her own way and in her own life without the influence of fucking Shah. Oh boy, next song is Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. I've been listening to the song a lot recently. It's a very good song, and this is an Astarion song. If the camera angle's just changed, it's because I went and made myself some hash browns because I'm really hungry. But that's fine, we're still going. Next up is the lucky one, Jaheira. You know, that was my favorite Taylor Swift song for a very long time. Everything Has Changed. That's a Will song. Starlight, Karlach. Karlach's really running out of room, huh? Begin Again. This is a Gale song. I love this song so much. It's all about being in a bad relationship with someone who, like, is quite controlling and maybe doesn't actually really like you that much. And then the experience of being in a new relationship with someone who actually, like, respects you. And that's so Gale. The Moment I Knew. This is another Karlach / Gortash sort of song. Because it's a song about betrayal. And really, who has been betrayed as hard as Karlach? Come Back, Be Here. This is a Gale song, and it works in two ways. Because it could be Gale, you know, talking about Mystra, as most of his songs are. Or it could be the player talking about Gale once he goes all God mode. Because, you know, it's about this love that's, like, really good love, but, you know, there's only so good a relationship can be if the other person just isn't there, you know? Okay, the next one is Girl at Home. I cannot explain this, but this is a Shadowheart song. And the, like, Girl at Home in question is Shah. I can't explain why this works. It just does. Better Man, would you believe it? It's a Gale song. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I can feel you again, but I miss you and I just wish you were a better man. Oh my god. Oh, this is a good one. Nothing New. This is such an incredible song, and I don't see people talking about it nearly enough these days. It's so good. And this is a Will song, because it says in the song, they tell you while you're young, girls go out and have your fun, and then they hunt and slay the ones who actually do it. All Will ever wanted to do was protect his home, and protect his people, and protect his family. And he did what he had to do to achieve just that, and then he was cast out. He was exiled from his home. And then the whole, like, how can a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22? Because he's 17 when he makes his pact and he thinks he's doing the right thing, and then by the time you get to him in game, he's what, 24? Oh, it just makes me emotional. Babe is a Shadowheart song. Message in a Bottle is a Gale song. I Bet You Think About Me. Dare I say one of the best vault tracks of all time? This just feels like such a Karlach song to me. There might be another character that it fits better, like, thematically, but, like, you hear that song and you hear the sass, and it just feels so Karlach to me. Whoa, tone shift. Forever Winter, one of her saddest songs, and I will stand by that. And this is a Gale song. Makes me sad. Run. I don't really like the song, but it's a Karlach song, and I like Karlach. Okay, this is another one that sounds really stupid, and I can't explain why this makes sense to me, but it just does. The Very First Night is a Minthara song. When I was going through all of these songs and assigning them to all the characters, and I was listening to The Very First Night, I love this song, by the way. I think it's so good. It just made me think of Minthara, and specifically Minthara's romance. I don't know why, because this is not a Minthara sounding song. This is one of her happiest, bubbliest pop songs that she's ever done. And Minthara is not that. It's just, I can't explain it. It's a Minthara song. All Too Well 10-minute version. Now, you may be thinking, hey, we've already done All Too Well. And yeah, we have. We've done All Too Well normal version, but this is the 10-minute version. And I think the extra context that you get in the 10-minute version changes the character that it is about, because I am very, very set on the original All Too Well being about Karlach. I think All Too Well 10-minute version is about Gale. Would you believe me if I said I'm honestly trying to not let my bias for just adoring this man come into play here? It's just He is the only character with like an established ex, and that makes it very, very easy to assign Taylor Swift songs to him. Okay, we have a lot of lyrics to dissect here, starting with the extra bit in that second verse. And I was thinking on the drive down, anytime now he's gonna say it's love, you never called it what it was, till we were dead and gone and buried, check the pulse and come back swearing it's the same after 3 months in the grave, and then you wondered where it went to as I reached for you, but all I felt was shame, and you held my lifeless frame. Specifically, that last bit. Because what do you mean Mistra is asking Gale to blow himself up? You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath, sacred prayer, and we'd swear to remember it all too well. I said before, a lot of the religious imagery is very Shadowheart, but also I think people forget that Gale is like a very devoutly religious man. It just so happens that the god he worships is also his ex-girlfriend, which makes things very complicated. And then the bridge, the extended bridge. What was it? I just wrote in my notes, oh my god, the whole bridge, and I now can't remember what the specific lyrics were that I was thinking of. You said if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine. The idea you had of me, who was she, and never needy, ever lovely jewel, whose shine reflects on you. So much of Mistra and Gale's relationship is just about Mistra, you know? She never cared about Gale, she never cared about what Gale thought or felt. I have a lot of feelings about this. Anyway, moving on, Safe and Sound. Safe and Sound is a Shadowheart song. When I was listening to the song again, it just made me think of the little flashback you get to Shadowheart when she's a kid and she gets like abducted by the Sharans. And finally, last song from Red, Eyes Open. This is a Will song. It specifically made me think of Will with the tiefling children when you like very first meet him. Yay, that's Red done. We are now on to 1989. I want to have another hash brown first though. 1989, a very monumental album in the Taylor Swift timeline. Her first fully pop album and widely considered to still be her best album to this day. Our first song is Welcome to New York, which is a Lae'zel song. Again, it's to do with Lae'zel being like a newcomer to this world. Like instead of Welcome to New York, it's Welcome to Faerun. Blank Space is Astarion, mostly because of the vibes. But actually, like, the whole thing, like, the perception, having a public perception of being, like, a man-eater, basically, and being kind of crazy, when that's not actually who you are inside. It's a very satirical song. And that went over a lot of people's heads when the song first came out, which never ceases to amuse me. Style? Shadowheart. I've got that good girl faith in a tight little skirt. Come on, that is so Shadowheart. Out of the Woods, Astarion. I mean, the whole thing of like, are we out of the woods yet? Are we in the clear yet? That so fits with him thematically, with the fact that he spends the entire game just waiting for this inevitable encounter with Cazador, knowing that he's not truly free of him until Cazador is dead. But I also think the bridge is very Astarion. Astarion. Remember when we couldn't take the heat? I walked out and said I'm setting you free, but the monsters turned out to be just trees. When the sun came up, you were looking at me. It's Astarion. There's a couple of different songs in my list that I've put as Astarion specifically because of stuff to do with the sun, and if I think about that for too long, I will cry. All you had to do was stay. This is another track 5. And go with me here, this is a Minsk song, and it is way too big to go on the Minsk board. We're gonna dangle off the side of the Minsk board. Do you like it? But this made me think of Minsk because of the way that we find out that the reason Jaheira thought Minsk was dead is because she essentially left him for dead. And even though it's sort of established that like they don't have any bad blood because of this, the whole all you had to do was stay thing just made me think of Minsk and the fact that Jaheira left him in that moment. Shake It Off is a Karlach song. I Wish You Would is an Astarion song. Okay, I don't know where I got the thought that Minsk only had 2 songs because Bad Blood is also a Minsk song, and now we're up to 4 different songs for Minsk. The whiteboard was a mistake. Wildest Dreams. This is a Karlak song. Anytime a song mentions being remembered in a specific way, it just makes me think of Karlak. And I'm very upset about it. Oh no, get out there. How You Get the Girl is a Gale song, and I'm not happy about it. Like, thinking he can win Mistra's love by getting that piece of the, like, cassette weave or whatever it was, and it just... Gale, stand the fuck up. Get off the floor. This Love, Astarion. I Know Places is Lae'zel because of the way that she's being, like, hunted down by her own people. Clean is Astarion. I'm pretty sure that's one of the first ones that I picked. Like, before I even started properly assigning all of the songs, I was like, oh god, Clean is such an Astarion song. Wonderland is Shadowheart, and I'm gonna be completely honest, the reason I initially picked this for Shadowheart is because she has green eyes, and Taylor Swift mentions green eyes in this song. But I also think the whole thing of, like, meeting this new person and getting lost in your own little world together really speaks to Shadowheart and, like, what she goes through in, if you choose to romance her, like, her development of getting away from Shah and getting away from everything she's been raised with and discovering this whole new world that awaits her. You Are in Love. My initial thought for this was Gale, but then I realized that one of the main lines in the song is you can hear it in the silence, and there is no way in hell that this man would ever be silent. He yaps. He is a loud boy. So this instead goes to Halson. Is this only the third Halson song? I really thought I had more for him. New Romantics is a Karlak song. I would say New Romantics is one of her best, like, just straight pop songs. Argue with the fucking wall. Slut. This is a Will song. Oh my god, this is such a Will song. Because it's all about, like, having been perceived in a certain way, you know? And then realizing that, like, people are always going to be talking about you no matter what, so you may as well have fun. And I think that's a Will song. It's also just such a deeply romantic song. And also, if this song was, like, about Will, as opposed to from the perspective of Will, the whole thing of in a world full of boys, he's a gentleman. That man is a gentleman. We know that. I know I said I was trying to not be biased towards Gale, but we have 3 Gale songs in a row now. Say Don't Go, Now That We Don't Talk, and Suburban Legends are all Gale songs. Specifically, Say Don't Go. Oh my god, the chorus of this. Why'd you have to lead me on? Why'd you have to twist the knife? Walk away and leave me bleeding? Why'd you whisper in the dark just to leave me in the night? Now your silence has me screaming. Going from Mistra's chosen to getting the silent treatment from her all because he tried to prove how much he loved her. Now That We Don't Talk, I feel like is more late game Gale. And Suburban Legends. This whole song was so unexpectedly Gale for me. I'm not pulling out any lyrics because it's literally all of them, and I don't have time to sit here and just read out the lyrics to the entire song. Go look at the lyrics for this song and tell me it's not about fucking Gale Dekarios. Can still kind of see him. He's still poking out there. Is It Over Now, our final song from 1989, I think is a Lae'zel song. I mean, I honestly feel like this could fit with quite a few of them, but Lae'zel just felt right to me. Song number 1 from Reputation, Ready For It. This is a Minthara song. As you could probably guess, Minthara gets a few more songs in Reputation. It's more of a Minthara-style album, you know? Endgame is Will. The whole theme of this song is like, I got a big reputation, you know? But even though this song, and a lot of the songs on this album come off like, oh, look at me, I'm a bad bitch, they're all so deeply vulnerable and romantic. And Will, he's probably got the biggest reputation out of all of them. He's a very, like, well-known public figure. And now his reputation has been tarnished by his pact with Mizora and the fact that she has, like, devilified him. But he just is so good despite it all, and so romantic despite it all. And that's, like, what this song and this whole album is about. I Did Something Bad is a Minthara song. Oh, I feel bad for covering up her face. Sorry. It's just some of these song titles are really long. Don't Blame Me is a Shadowheart song. It has religious undertones. It's a Shadowheart song. Because she says, for you, I would fall from grace just to touch your face. A more Shadowheart song has never existed. Reputation's track 5 is Delicate. And this is a Will song, for the same reasons as Endgame. First line in this song goes on to say, my reputation's never been worse, so you must like me for me. And that's very Will Ravengard. Look What You Made Me Do is a Minthara song. Specifically saying, like, I don't like the role you made me play of the fool. The way Minthara is manipulated by Orin and the whole idea of the absolute. And then going on to say, honey, I rose up from the dead. I do it all the time. Like, if you recruit Minthara and you save her from where she's being literally tortured, and then she joins your party as a super badass paladin. I really like Minthara. Underrated companion. I get that she's a little bit evil, but like, a lot of people are evil. It's fine. Next is So It Goes. So It Goes is a Lae'zel song. Gorgeous is an Astarion song. I think the vibe of like, you are so pretty and I hate you for that, and I hate that I love how pretty you are. That feels very Astarion to me. Getaway Car. This is a Shadowheart song. Could also very easily be a Lae'zel song. But hey, you know what? I'm a Shadowheart Lae'zel truther. So maybe this could be a song for the two of them. I don't have a way to display that, so Shadowheart gets custody of it. King of My Heart is a Karlach song. This is such a good song. I love King of My Heart. I have a thing about 3-track runs in albums when you have 3 songs in a row that are such bangers or work really well together as a trio. Having Gorgeous into Getaway Car into King of My Heart, that is absurd. That is an insanely good 3-track run. I need a hash brown. Oh, right. Dancing with Her Hands Tied. This is a Gale song. Okay, brace yourself, this is a lot of lyrics. I could have spent forever with my hands in your pocket, picture of your face in an invisible locket. You said there was nothing in the world that could stop it. I had a bad feeling. And you had turned my bed into a sacred oasis. People started talking, putting us through our paces. I knew there was no one in the world that could take it. I had a bad feeling, but we were dancing. The vibe of like, feeling like you know something is wrong, you know people are judging this, you can just feel that there's something not quite right, but the other person is saying like, it'll be fine. And also the feeling of like, nobody else understands this but me, which, I'm just gonna say it, is a red flag, as Gale finds out. Dress is a Shadowheart song, and I don't feel like it needs any more explanation than that. It is just such a Shadowheart song. Oh, one of my favorite songs off this album, and I think another underrated song. This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. This is a Karlach song. Kind of for the same reasons as I Bet You Think About Me. Like, it's fun and playful and sassy, you know? And I also specifically think, like, the references to her thanking her mum and just the, like, unhinged laugh she does at the end of the bridge. It's all very Karlach. Call it what you want. Will. My castle crumbled overnight. I brought a knife to a gunfight. They took the crown, but it's all right. Will Ravengard! Am I even pointing at him? I am. New Year's Day is a Shadowheart song, and I think it's particularly fitting with the whole like, please don't ever become a stranger whose laugh I could recognize anywhere, because Shadowheart has some memory issues, and I think when you think about this in terms of like her parents, ooh, oh, that gets emotional very quickly. But we don't have time for that. We're moving on to album number 7, Lover. Speaking of memory issues, track 1 from Lover, I Forgot That You Existed. This is a Shadowheart song, cause she doesn't have a lot of her memories. Oh no, things are falling off the board. Cruel Summer is a Karlach song, because it is a particularly cruel summer when you find out that there is no way that Karlach can survive on our world, and she either has to die or go back to the place where she was tormented for an entire decade. But she's still having such a good time in the moment. She's making the most of it. Lover. Will. The man is Jaheira. The archer is Astarion. Oh boy. The whole they see right through me, I see right through me, do you see right through me thing. I've been the archer, I've been the prey. This is a very sad song for a very sad vampire. And it's a track 5. I Think He Knows is a Gale song. Gale, let's be so honest. He definitely knows. Everybody knows. This man can't hide his feelings. This is a long one. Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. This is a Will song. Again, it's the like allegories to high school and the idea of being perceived as a certain way, you know. It just all boils down to a very Will sort of place. Paper Rings is Gale. Cornelia Street is Karlach. Death by 1,000 Cuts is Gale. This is another one that I feel like could apply to a few of them, but specifically in the bridge when it gets to the whole thing about trying to find a part of me that you didn't touch, trying to find a part of me you didn't take up, is so Gale. He literally cannot escape the consequences consequences of his devotion to Mystra. It is carved into his chest. He has an entire explosive orb hanging out in there as a consequence of him trying to prove his love to Mystra. And also, there's no way for him to entirely be rid of her because he's a wizard. He gets his powers from that bitch. I am the head of the Mystra Hate Club. London Boy is also a Gale song. I can't explain why, it just is. False God is a Minthara song, and I feel like this makes so much sense. Because whilst, you know, when you think of Baldur's Gate companions questioning their faith to be with the player if the player chooses to romance them, like, the obvious thought is Shadowheart, and I feel like the song does also fit Shadowheart, but there's just something distinctly Minthara about this song. And I was really surprised that Minthara got literally any song off of Lover. I wasn't expecting her to. This is not a Minthara album. You Need to Calm Down is a Karlach song. I feel like the song is overhated. I really like it. I think it's fun. People like to hate on things that are fun. I don't care that it's cheesy. It's a good time. Afterglow is Astarion, and this is another one that makes me very sad. This song, in general, makes me really sad. I do not think that Afterglow is a romantic song. I think it's presented as a romantic song, but it's not. It's a deeply anxious song about thinking all of the problems in a relationship are your fault. I feel like that ties in with Astarion because he's so insecure and he puts on such a facade, you know? This is a Minsk song. I feel like that's self-explanatory. Minsk board. It's falling apart. Oh no! It's Nice to Have a Friend. Every other song that I've said was underrated has nothing on It's Nice to Have a Friend. I have seen so many people say that this is her worst song. How can you say that this is her worst song when Superstar exists? It's Nice to Have a Friend is a beautiful song. Like, it's very simple. She doesn't do anything crazy in it, but it's simple and it's romantic and it's all about falling in love with your best friend. It's one of my personal favorites and I will defend it till the end of the earth. Daylight. This is an Astarion song. I used to think love would be burning red, but it's golden like daylight. Let that man see the sun again. He deserves it. And then finally, our last lover song is All of the Girls You've Loved Before. And surprise, surprise, this is a Gale song. Where do I put this? New board. Now we are on to Folklore, the first of the two sister albums that came out in 2020 during the pandemic, everyone's favourite time. These were both surprise albums that came out of nowhere, announced literally the day before they came out, and were completely different to anything Taylor Swift had ever done before, and like 1989, widely considered to be some of her best albums ever. First song we have is The One. This is a Halcyon song. I feel like Halcyon's been kind of neglected. He's only got 3 songs. Even Minthara has more songs. But I picked Halcyon for The One because, similar to Teardrops on My Guitar, but in a less sad sort of way, I see this as Halcyon watching the player if they're romancing another character, you know? Because again, he is the only one who will come up and pursue you if you're already in an established relationship with someone else. Like, he romances you first. You don't romance him first. I love him. Cardigan is a Shadowheart song. The Last Great American Dynasty is a Will song. This makes sense. You know, Will Ravengard. That's a dynasty in itself, you know? But then Will manages to defy all expectations sort of set out for him by making a deal with a devil and becoming part devil himself. And following right on from that, Exile is also a Will song. He's literally been exiled from his home. It makes sense. My Tears Ricochet. This is a Karlach song. Oh boy howdy, this is our track 5 as well. And what a track 5 it is. I didn't have it in myself to go with Grace. You had to kill me but it killed you just the same. Cursing my name, wishing I stayed, look at how my tears ricochet. It's very Karlach. It's very Karlach and Gortash. If I ever meet that little rat of a man, I'm going to dispose of him. Impolitely. Mirrorball is Astarion. Oh, that poor sweet boy. It's the whole putting on a facade thing, you know? I can change everything about me to fit in. No, he doesn't deserve that. 7 is Shadowheart. This is another one of my all-time favorite songs. Oh boy, it makes me emotional. It is such a good song. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of Shadowheart's friend that you find in the House of Grief. That was like her childhood char buddy. And this is like especially emotional because Shadowheart literally had her childhood stolen away from her Oh my god. Makes me sad. August is a Halcyon song. And again, it fits in with the fact that he will try and romance you even if you're with someone else. Not as a way to try and steal you from them, but just because, like, he genuinely cares for you and he, you know, you miss all the shots you don't take, or whatever. But the whole, you know, 'cause you weren't mine to lose. Oh, it's a Halcyon. And also just the vibes of the song, I feel like are very Halcyon. This Is Me Trying is a Jahira song, and that makes me sad. Illicit Affairs is a Gale song, because his relationship with Mistra is inappropriate. Invisible String is a Karlak song, and I think this song is particularly cute if you think about it in the context of Karlak and Will. Just as I am a Lae'zel and Shadowheart truther, I am a Karlak and Will truther. Because they both grew up in Baldur's Gate, I imagine they must have seen each other around, and then they end up together in this little party of adventurers bound by Tadpole. He's literally sent to kill her, but then he meets her, and she's so nice, and they become such good friends. I think they are canonically each other's closest friend in the party, but I think they should be more than friends, and they should smooch about it, and Invisible String is about the two of them. Mad Woman is a Minthara song. Specifically, it's obvious that Wanting Me Dead has really brought you two together. That's Minthara, if ever I heard a Minthara song. Epiphany is a Jahira song. Her husband is dead, and that's very sad. Betty is a Will song. Again, I can't really credit that to anything more than just like the high school romantic love triangle vibes of it all. It just reeks of Will. Peace, another one of my personal favorites. This is an Astarion song, for very similar reasons as The Archer and Afterglow. Would it be enough if I could never give you peace? Oh my god. Hoax is also an Astarion song. And this is also, I feel, a very underrated song. It's one of the songs that it's very unclear what the song is actually written about, which I kind of love because it just means there is a lot of different interpretations that you can sort of glean from it. The line that always stands out to me in that song is, "You know it still hurts underneath these scars from when they pulled me apart, but what you did was just as dark." And I think that really ties in with Astarion and what's her face in Moonrise Towers, the chick who wants to be bitten by a vampire. If you force Astarion to bite her, hoax. Oh my god. And then finally, last song from Folklore, The Lakes, another one of my all-time favorites. This is a Halcyon song. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong, and my beloved neither do you. Oh my god. And then also, I want auroras and sad prose. I want to watch wisteria grow right over my bare feet, because I haven't moved in years. Especially when you consider Halcyon and the fact that he has been the leader of the Grove, and he doesn't want that. He doesn't want that responsibility. Just let this man retire. Let him be retired and in love and just a big bear of a man living his happiest life. Oh my god. So this is the sister album to Folklore. Again, a complete surprise, announced the night before, and personally my favourite out of the two of them. I'm firmly in the camp of like, I think technically Folklore is a better album, but I just prefer Evermore, and I think Evermore has better songs. But like, Folklore is more cohesive and ties together better. You know, it's subjective. First song we have on Evermore is Willow, and this is another Halcyon song. Put it right there next to the one. Champagne Problems is an Astarion song. Again, I feel like that ties in with everything that we've said about Astarion so far, with The Archer, Afterglow, Peace, and Champagne Problems now as well. Gold Rush is a Shadowheart song. It's another one of those songs that has the vibe of like, I like you and I'm so mad about it. But this one particularly just feels very Shadowheart to me. 'Tis the Damn Season is a Gale song. Specifically, I think the bridge of this song is very Gale. I don't have it written down. Can I just remember it off the top of my head? It's, what is it? So I'll go back to LA, where my so-called friends will write books about me if I ever make it, and wonder about the only soul who can tell which smiles I'm faking. It very much gives me the vibes of like Gale returning to Waterdeep, or being God Gale and not being able to find that same connection with someone that he had when he was just a regular wizardly dude. Tolerate It, our Evermore track 5, is a Lae'zel song, specifically about the relationship between Lae'zel and Vlaakith. And Vlaakith goes firmly in the camp of, if I ever meet that bitch is gonna die. Because Lae'zel did everything to prove herself as a loyal and true soldier. And then what did Vlaakith do with all of that? She cast Lae'zel out. She made her own people hunt her. Oh my god, it makes me so sad. No Body, No Crime is a Minthara song, because I feel like if these were just dudes, just regular dudes in our regular world, Minthara would be the most likely to just murder someone. Happiness. I think this is Taylor Swift's saddest song, except maybe for Bigger Than the Whole Sky, but that's like a whole nother level of sad. If we're talking about like sad romantic songs, Happiness is the saddest. And this is a Gale song. Specifically, the line, "When did all our lessons start to look like weapons pointed at my deepest hurt?" Because Gale was Mystra's student, right? Like, he was her chosen. And anytime I get reminded of that power imbalance, it makes me want to hit a bitch. Dorothea is another Shadowheart song. Very similar to Seven. It's about her and her friend whose name I just cannot remember for the life of me. We're sort of running out of room over here, huh? Coney Island is an Astarion song. Do you miss the rogue who coaxed you into paradise then left you there? He's literally a rogue. Like, it goes deeper than that, but like, that's an easy association. Ivy is a Lae'zel song. I feel like this could also be a Shadowheart song, and then that's just perfect because it's like the two of them together, you know? Cowboy Like Me. This is my all-time favorite Taylor Swift song. Oh my god, I love this song so much. And this is an Astarion song. I love this song so goddamn much. I personally love songs that tell a story. Like, this tells a story deeper than just two people falling in love. This tells a story of two people meeting and seeing themselves reflected in another person and being like, oh, you're on my level. And it has that added layer, you know, perched in the dark, telling all the rich men anything they want to hear. Like, it could be love. I could be the way forward only if they pay for it. Like, that's very Astarion. He's used to manipulating people for his own safety. He's used to finding a target that he can manipulate and pull in so that they can be his protector, so that he can live another day, so that he can take them back to Khazad-dûr's palace. And the idea of him meeting his match and seeing himself reflected in another person, when he literally cannot even see his own reflection normally because he's a vampire! It all ties together and it makes me emotional, and it is my favorite Taylor Swift song. It is so good. Long story short, in my head, Long Story Short and Invisible String are like two sides of the same coin. So unsurprisingly, this is another Karlach song. And listen, I don't care that she doesn't get a happy ending. If she did get a happy ending with Will, by the way, then this would be the perfect song for the two of them. I'm gonna put it right under Invisible String. Can literally only see her mouth. That's so sad. Marjorie is also a Karlach song. This is such a sad song. This is a song about Taylor Swift's grandma. One of the big themes in the song is like regretting not spending more time with this person and regretting not keeping more mementos of this person from when they were still alive. And that works very well in terms of like the player's experience with Karlach, because you know, you only get a set amount of time with her before she either has to literally die or go back to Avernus. But then also it works for Karlach personally in her life, you know, because both of her parents are dead. You go to her parents' graves with her, and it just makes me so emotional. Closure is Gale, and this is also a song that works in two ways for Gale. I also think this is an underrated song. A lot of people don't like the song. They say it sounds like she's just like smacking randomly on pots and pans at the beginning of it. I don't care. It's a good song. I like it. But Closure works both in the sense of like Mystra trying to offer Gale this deal if he can bring her the crown of Karsus and, you know, she'll heal him from his orb fully. Like, she's trying to smooth everything over, but Gale just like doesn't believe her. Like, that's very that. But then also, I thought of this just before. One of the things in the song is like, yes, I got your letter. Yes, I got your letter. Yes, I'm doing better. Like, the letter plays a very key part in the song. And Gale, if he blows himself up, he writes a letter to you and you get to read it at the end of the game. And I thought that tied in really well with, where did I put it? Closure, because it's a really sad and romantic letter, and I think, like, that's the main emotion that you feel reading that letter. But at the same time, like, I feel like the player character would also have so much anger and resentment towards Gale for going and blowing himself up. And it's like, I don't need you to send a letter telling me how sorry you are and how much you love me. I needed you to not blow yourself up in the first place. Evermore. This is a Karlach song. And that hurts my feelings. This is such a special song because the repeating line in this is, I had a feeling this pain would be forevermore. And then it changes at the end of the song to, this pain wouldn't be forevermore. And that's so sad if you think about it, both in the terms of like Karlach getting the hope that her engine might be able to be fixed and she might not have to die, to then knowing that there is no solution and knowing that she is going to die. Either way, both the hope and the finality of knowing that it's all going to end, that's a confirmation that the pain isn't going to be forever. She's either going to be cured or she's just not going to be around anymore. And the idea of that makes me very sad. Oh, and want to make it so much worse, Right Where You Left Me is also a Karlach song, but in the other instance, if she goes and lives in Avernus for the rest of her life, sure, she's alive, but she's right back where she started, right back where she never wanted to go ever again, because that's the only way for her to stay alive. This hurts my feelings! Final song from Evermore, It's Time to Go. This is a Lae'zel song. Oh my god, I can't even put it up. And I feel like the lyrics of it are very, once more, Lae'zel and Vlaakith. We've got 15 years, 15 million tears, begging till my knees bled. I gave it my all, he gave me nothing at all, then wondered why I left. Now he sits on his throne in his palace of bone, praying to his greed. He's got my past, frozen behind glass, but I've got me. Because she did give Vlaakith everything, and Vlaakith gave her nothing in return. Vlaakith is there, sitting on her throne in her palace of bone, praying to her own greed. But Lae'zel, at the end of the day, has herself and her new life that she's building for herself, and it makes me emotional. Coffee break. Album number 10. Midnights. This is my personal favourite Taylor Swift album. It's the only one I have on vinyl. I've got the blood orange vinyl. It looks so good. I am a Midnights apologist. I know there's a lot of people that don't like it. At this point, a lot of people were starting to get a bit tired of the Jack Antonoff sound. But I personally am a Jack Antonoff lover, so this album is just perfect to me. I feel like it's so cohesive. It's the whole concept of it, of being stories from different points in her life, all of the midnights that she stayed up writing out all of these feelings. I love that as a concept. And I think a lot of the songs tell such vivid stories. Like, Folklore and Evermore are thought of as the storytelling albums, but I feel like Midnights is really underrated in terms of that. It's really good. I'm very fond of it. I also just really like pop music. Lavender Haze. This is a Gale song. I don't know if I picked this just because Gale is the purple wizard. That might have been my main reason. Maroon is also a Gale song. This was another one that I really struggled with. Once again, I went to my gorgeous friend Annabelle for help with this one, and in the end, it was the line at the end of the bridge about legacy. And I wake with your memory over me, that's a real fucking legacy. I feel like that fits Gale both in terms of like Mistra's legacy, like the legacy of being Mistra's chosen, but then also Tarsus's legacy. You know? The whole thing of Tarsus's folly and then Gale's folly, and like he says that himself in those words. He's like, oh, it's more like Gale's folly. I think legacy is such an interesting theme, and I think it's particularly interesting in terms of this man with the tiny portion of his face showing right here. Antihero. This is a Jaheira song. I thought this was fun to be a Jaheira song because she is like definitely a hero, but then you sort of see the downsides of that hero visage when you actually visit her home and meet her children who she abandoned. And I think in talking to Jaheira, you see how she sort of struggles a bit with that hero image, and I just think it's really interesting. Jaheira's a great character. Snow on the Beach is Astarion. This is a man who doesn't think he's worthy of love. And that's how that song reads to me. Like snow on the beach, weird but fucking beautiful. You're on your own, kid. Lae'zel. Once again, it ties in with the whole thing of her being a complete newcomer to this world, and she really is on her own because all of the other Githyanki are basically trying to kill her. Midnight Rain is another Jaheira song. Ties into the stuff with her kids again. Like, she's just not built for that domestic life. She's built for that adventuring life, and like that's something that she very openly struggles with. And it's so interesting, and I love it. Question. This is one of my favorites off the album. I think this is such a good song. And I think this is an Astarion song. This is another one like Hoax, where it's like, nobody really knows what this song is about. Like, you can sort of guess, but it's like, It's confusing and it's vague, and that really suits a song literally called Question. But it just gives me Astarion vibes, and I can't really explain it more than that. Vigilante shit is obviously Minthara. Again, she's the most likely to do a murder. I feel like it doesn't need any more explanation than that. Bejeweled is Astarion. He deserves to go out and sparkle. What he deserves. Labyrinth is also Astarion. I feel like this might be a hot take. I saw people on TikTok the other day talking about how Labyrinth is a very Gale song, which I can totally see, but I personally read it as a very Astarion song. Because again, this is a man who does not think he deserves love, not in that way. And when you romance him, like when he starts to realize that he actually genuinely has feelings for you, oh, it's so Labyrinth. It is so Labyrinth. Karma. Fantastic song. A Karlach song. Very much a Karlach song. I just really wish that it could, like, be canonically a Karlach song, because it sort of, you know, takes some of the wind out of the Karma-based sails with the fact that even after she, you know, gets to kill Gortash, she still has to die or go back to Avernus. And I'm very sad about it. Sweet Nothing. This is a Gale song. This is a Gale post-Mistra song. A lot of the songs up here are to do with Gale's relationship with Mistra, and they're all very sad songs. This is a happy song. This is a beautifully simple and romantic song, where she says, all that you ever wanted from me was sweet nothing. And I feel like that really sums up what it's like to romance Gale in this game. If you don't ascend him to godhood. Especially when when it comes time to choose between getting the galaxy fidget spinner scene, or just normal Mr. Gale Dekarios. This is normal Gale. I don't know what song describes the galaxy fidget spinner. Flipping over the board. Where am I even up to? Oh my goodness gracious. Mastermind is also a Gale song. The Great War. I think this is one of Taylor Swift's best songs, and I think not enough people talk about it because it's so goddamn amazing, and it's also a Jaheira song. That's a song that is about Jaheira and her husband. Her husband who is dead. I would be able to speak more on that if I had played the first two Baldur's Gate games, but I haven't. I'm a fake fan. Oh, hey, leading right on from that, you know how I mentioned that Happiness was Taylor Swift's saddest song, other than Bigger Than the Whole Sky? This is also a Jaheira song, and it's also about her dead husband. Goddamn, that is a sad song. That is a sad song about losing someone that you love. Oh my god. Complete tone shift. Paris. I love this song. This might be one of my favorites on the album as well. I really, really like this one. And it's a Karlach song. My favorite part of Paris is going into the second chorus, because the first line of the chorus is I'm so in love, but in the second one, she yells it in the background. Like she sings it normally, but then in the background you can hear her going, I'm so in love! And it's just that feels very Karlach. Like if you say that you love her and she's like, I love you too! It's oh, it makes me so happy. High Infidelity. This was another one that I didn't know who to pick for. So once again, I phoned a friend and Annabelle helped me decide that this is a Shadowheart song. It just has the vibes, Similarly, Glitch is a Shadowheart song. This is also in my top 5 Taylor Swift songs of all time. Highly underrated song. It's really, really good. Oh boy. Would've, could've, should've. Now, this is a song that I think could apply to any of these little guys. This is a song about betrayal. This is a song about being manipulated. This is a song about being led astray against your will, and it could honestly apply to so many of them. Particularly Will and Karlach with the "and I never would have danced with the devil at 19. That is both of them to a T. But the line that really was the deciding factor for me was give me back my girlhood, it was mine first. And that made me decide that this is a Shadowheart song. Because as mentioned, Shadowheart literally had her childhood taken away from her due to being abducted by the Sharans. And if I think about this too much, I will cry. And it's also another song that has very heavy religious undertones, and that is very Shadowheart. Next song is Dear Reader, and this is a Jaheira song. It's a song where she gives a lot of advice and then goes on to say, never take advice from someone who's falling apart. And that gives me such Jaheira vibes. Because, she's older than most of these guys. I don't think she's older than Halsin. Where is he? Halsin. He's 300 years old, isn't he? But I'm pretty sure she's older than everyone else. And she's an old hand at this whole adventuring thing. She's been through it all before. She knows what that does to your life. But then, she can give all the advice she wants, but she's still out there adventuring, There's a specific conversation that she can have with Karlak that really makes me think of this. I can't remember what they actually say, but it gives me very Dear Rita vibes. Then we have You're Losing Me. Oh boy. This is a Karlak song. This is a Karlak song, once again, in terms of Gortash. Not in a romantic way. I really cannot stress this enough, but that none of the songs that are like Karlak and Gortash related are in a romantical sense. But when it gets towards the end of the song and she's saying like, do something, choose something, prove something, like Gortash just not only stood by, but was the one to actively make the deal that led to Karlak having her heart literally ripped out and replaced with a machine and sent to Avernus. That was all on Gortash. He did not have to do that. He had the power to stop that and he didn't. And he ruined Karlak's life and nobody should forgive him. Then finally, It's Different. This is my third favorite Taylor Swift song of all time, I think. And I think it's a Gale song. I'm pretty sure it's a Gale song. This is looking crazy. What have I done? Anyway. This was kind of the album that inspired this whole thing. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second, but this album came out the day after I first started playing Baldur's Gate, and so the two of them are just linked in my mind. They are like the two things that got me through last year, and I feel very, very strongly about some of my choices in this album. So, first up, we have Fortnight, Karlak, and that is for a very simple reason. You know, for a fortnight, there we were. I love you, it's ruining my life. Karlak is on, you know, what am I trying to say? A very limited timeline here. She's not long for this world, quite literally. And I think her falling in love, while she's so happy about it if you romance her, that also must just make it so much worse that she knows she has to go in the end. The Tortured Poets Department, our title track. This is a Gale song, because nobody else is this pretentious. My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, phenomenal song. A Karlak song. Everything that we just talked about before with Gortash and Karlak and him being the one to make that decision, to make the deal with Zariel and everything. Oh boy. Oh, I just remembered, I forgot to mention this with You're Losing Me, but specifically the... Buddy. I need more blue tack. Okay, yeah, I forgot to mention it when I was talking about You're Losing Me, but the line that specifically nailed that for me was fighting in only your army, front lines don't you ignore me. That's Karlak. Okay, here we go. Down Bad. This is specifically the song that inspired all of this. I said that it was this album. It is this album and more specifically this song. Because if you look at the lyrics to this song, this is Gale motherfucking Decarios. I pointed in the wrong place. He's there. This is his song. Oh my god. This is my most listened to song of last year. Not because it's like my favorite off the album, just because I liked to listen to it and think about this poor sad boy. Did you really beam me up in a cloud of sparkling dust just to do experiments on? Tell me I was the chosen one. Show me that this world is bigger than us, then sent me back where I came from. For a moment, I knew cosmic love. This is a song about Gale. Did you take all my old clothes just to leave me here, naked and alone, in a field in my same old town that somehow seems so hollow now? They'll say I'm nuts if I talk about the existence of you. For a moment, I was heaven-struck. How dare you think it's romantic leaving me safe and stranded? Oh my god. It's just so perfectly Gale. This was the song that made me want to do this video. I watched those Hayley Whipjack videos and I remember sitting there, I'm pretty sure I was on the toilet, listening to Down Bad, and I was like, this is about Gale. This is about Gale of Waterdeep himself. And now here we are. With all of this going on, because of this song, and this man. Oh, and I didn't even mention, fuck it, if I can't have us, I might just die, it would make no difference. Oh my god. Who's falling off? This is a song about one man and one man only. This is not about Joe Alwyn. This is not even about Maddie Healy. This is about Gail Decarios. And I will take no arguments on this. I am correct. I am right. Oh my god. If I was smart enough to write a dissertation on this, I would. If I knew what a dissertation was, I would write it about this. Anyway, moving on. Track 5, So Long London, is about Astarion. I died on the altar waiting for the proof. Ouch! Ouch! That hurts. That hurts if you think about our good sweet boy up there. But Daddy, I Love Him. This is a Will song. This is a Will song in the same way that Love Story is a Will song, because I think that But Daddy, I Love Him is just like the evolved version of Love Story, you know? And I think But Daddy, I Love Him is especially fun to think about if you think about it as Will and Astarion, which, okay, I will be honest, I am a Bloodweave supporter. These two have my heart, and I think that they should smooch about it. But if I can't have Bloodweave, then I'm taking those two. I think they're neat, and I think that But Daddy, I Love Him is really funny to think about in terms of the two of them. Like, can you imagine, like, Will's made up with his dad, Duke Ravengard, and he brings home a literal vampire to family dinner, and is like, yeah, this is my man. He's a vampire, but I love him. I love him so much. It's getting really hot in here, and this is not at all helped by the fact that this board is currently covering one of my windows. We boarded up a window to make this video. I'm very warm right now. Fresh Out the Slammer, underrated song, and I feel very strongly that this is a Halson song, because the Slammer in question is his own guilt about what happened with the Shadow Curse lands, because as soon as he is free of that guilt, fresh out the Slammer, as it were, he feels like he's finally deserving of pursuing love. Love being you, me, us, the player. Florida is also a Halson song. I can't explain why. It just sort of feels like a Halson song to me. Guilty as Sin? Oh boy, is this a song with religious undertones? Guess it's gotta be Shadowheart. I am a firm believer that if you're not romancing Shadowheart as Lae'zel Origin, then the next best choice is to romance her as a Selûnite cleric. And that is what Guilty as Sin is about. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me is also a Shadowheart song. Specifically, I liked thinking about this in terms of the bridge. I want to snarl and show you just how disturbed this has made me. You wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me, you know, being raised in the House of Grief with all the Shah stuff. So all you kids can sneak into my house with all the cobwebs. That made me think of the Shadow Curse lands, the reason that it is all Shadow Cursed being because of Shah. And then just the line in the chorus, I was tame, I was gentle till the circus life made me mean. Again, it ties in to the stuff about how she was just a kid when she was taken. She could have just had a normal life in which she was both tame and gentle, but no, she's all Sharified. There's also just the fact that, like, out of all the companions, she kind of, if you ignore how, like, spiky her head thing is, she could just sort of look like a normal, innocent person. Like, she's just sort of a young lady, you know? Like, who would be afraid of her? And then it's like, oh, she actually worships one of the most fucked up gods. Ruh-roh. I can fix him? No, really, I can. I love this song, and I think this is once again a Will song, and specifically a Will talking about Astarion song. It's the monster hunter romancing the monster sort of vibe, you know? It's very fan fiction. Love of my life. Or LOML. How do we say this? Do we say Love of My Life? Because the reason it's called LOML rather than Love of My Life is because she does a little twisteroo at the end, turning it into Loss of My Life. Still not over that. I'm still sad about it. Oh boy. This is a Gale song. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. This is a Karlach song, obviously. Because she knows that she is gonna die, and she is still the most cheerful person in the party. And I love her for that. It's getting really hard to see some of these guys now. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. This was another one that I found quite hard. Not because I didn't know who to give it to, but because I didn't know how to choose between them. You know? I think this could apply to almost everyone here. And really, don't we all have someone in our lives who is the smallest man who ever lived? In the end, I thought that this was best suited for Karlach, and the smallest man who ever lived in question being Gortash. But, like, I feel like the bridge of that song is particularly relevant. Like, were you sent by someone who wanted me dead? Did you sleep with a gun underneath our bed? Were you writing a book? Were you a sleeper cell spy? In 50 years, will all this be declassified? That made me think particularly because, like, Gortash is trying to become an, important political figure, and there's a lot of things that he's keeping as secrets. I would have died for your sins. Instead, I just died inside, and you deserve prison, but you won't get time. It's about Gortash. The Alchemy is also a Karlach song, just kind of because of the vibes. Clara Bow is a Gale song. I thought this was particularly interesting to think about in terms of, like, Karsus and Elminster and these, like, hugely important, well-known wizardly figures that Gale is sort of living up to the legacy of. Again, it comes back to legacy, but this isn't Mystra's legacy, this is Gale's legacy, and kind of Karsus's legacy. Does that make sense? The Black Dog. Now we're into anthology songs. This is a question I have. Do we think of the anthology as a separate album, or do we think of it as part of the Tortured Poets department? I feel like I go back and forth on this. My hair's gone down so much. What is happening? Anyway, The Black Dog is a Karlach song. We'll go down here. This is such an angry, rageful song. Again, highly underrated. Very, very good song. I feel like I saw a clip from an interview literally yesterday of Taylor Swift herself saying that people think they know what The Black Dog is about, but they don't really know what it's about. I just figured it out. It's about Karlach, obviously. I'm gonna get you back. This is a Lae'zel song. It's the vibes. It just feels like a Lae'zel song to me. I'm gonna stick you down there. Oh, okay. That covered her up quite a bit. Oh, this is one I feel very, very strongly about. The Albatross. This is such a Karlach song. This is a Karlach and Will song specifically. She's the albatross. She is here to destroy you, then turning into I'm the albatross. I swept in at the rescue. Because of the way that Will was sent to kill Karlach and thinks she's this evil demon, but then Karlach ends up bringing so much joy and light into her life, even though Mizora is being like, no, she's evil. She's gonna destroy you. You have to kill her first. Oh my god. Look at the lyrics to this song and tell me it does not make you think of Karlach and Will, and I feel so many emotions about them. Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. This is one of my favorite songs at the moment. Oh my god. This... Oh. I feel so many feelings about this song. This is a Gale song because of the repeated line, if you want to break my cold, cold heart, just say I loved you the way that you were. Because Gale spent so much time trying to prove himself as worthy of Mystra. He just wanted to be loved for who he was, and she never gave him that. And then the fact that at the end of the bridge, it turns into, if you want to break my cold, cold heart, say you loved me. No continuation. No conditions. Just say you loved me. And then she just lets that sit there, and there's just... like, silence until she moves on to the next line. Oh my god, it is such a good song and not enough people are talking about it. Ah! Also, the fact that it references the piano from the end of Champagne Problems. Have people noticed that? It's really good. It's a really cool little detail. Oh boy. How did it end? This is the track 5 of the anthology. See, this is why I can't make my mind up about the anthology being its own album or just being the second half of the Tortured Poets department. Because it has the structure of a track 5, like this is the saddest song on the anthology. And how did it end, I feel, is about Halsin, because he feels like he is responsible for the Shadow Curse lands. And this whole song is about going out and having people see you in the wake of tragedy. Like, the song is about people seeing you after a breakup, but holds himself responsible for what happened in the Shadow Curse lands. And that's why he feels so much guilt around it, and that's why he doesn't try and romance you until after you've left the Shadow Curse lands. And it just... how did it end just gave me the vibes of that. I also think it's particularly interesting to think about if you think about the original idea of Halsin being the one to originally kill Isabel Thorm, Ketheric Thorm's daughter, moon lesbian. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting to think about it. Anyway, moving on to a much happier song, So High School. This is a Gale song, but I think this is specifically a Gale and Karlach song. I don't know if that's like a hot take pairing, but it's it's the you know how to ball, I know Aristotle. It's the two of them. Isn't that cute? I Hate It Here is also Gale. Gale specifically when he's stuck in his tower thinking that, you know, he could explode at any minute in the, like, year before the game actually takes place. Hey, thinking about that makes me sad. And that song makes me very sad. It's one of my favorites, don't get me wrong, but, like, oh my god. Thank You Amy is another Karlak song. It's another Karlak Gortash song. When I picture my hometown, there's a bronze spray tan statue of you and a plaque underneath it that threatens to push me down the stairs at our school. Like, you know, Gortash is this up-and-coming political figure, his face is on posters all over the city, and Karlak has to walk around and see that, knowing that he ruined her life and nobody else knows that. That's the vibes of this. But in the end, Karlak is able to literally kill him and sort of get her revenge, so I would say it all works out, but Karlak dies. I Look in People's Windows. Underrated song. This is a Shadowheart song. Specifically, I'm Afflicted by the Not Knowing. Just gives me such Shadowheart vibes in the sense that she doesn't remember her own past because she had her memory stolen by the goddamn Sharans. The Prophecy is also Karlak, because she finds out there is only one solution if she wants to live, which is going back to Avernus, which she swore she would never do, and she just so desperately wants there to be another way. Going back to Avernus is as good as dying, perhaps even worse than dying. And The Prophecy is a song about just wanting to change your fate so goddamn bad. It makes me so sad. I am gonna be so honest, I was not expecting Karlak to have so many Tortured Poet songs. Cassandra. This is a Lae'zel song. Again, that ties into Lae'zel being, like, hunted by her own people. You know, like she tried to stand up and push back against Vlaakith and immediately became ostracized and actively targeted by everyone still in like a Githyanki society. And that's what that song is about. So they killed Cassandra first because she feared the worst and tried to tell the town. So they filled my cell with snakes, I regret to say, do you believe me now? Oh boy. Peter. This is one of my favorite songs of Tortured Poets Department. I really, really like this album. This might be my second favorite album. But Peter is another Shadowheart song in terms of her and her friend from the House of Grief, whose name I really wish I could remember. I just don't remember it. She was a really nice little character. She makes me very happy and also very sad, and I wish she could come and be a companion. I want to get her out of the House of Grief. But Peter, because the whole song is like apologizing, saying, forgive me, Peter, saying that you waited but, you know, couldn't wait forever. You had to move on eventually. Oh, it makes me sad. It's a very sad song. The Bolter. I adore this song. This is a song for people with daddy issues who like running away from all of their problems, and therefore it is an Astarion song. It just fits. You can be sure that as she was leaving, it felt like freedom. Him! Anyway, next is Robin. I hate this song. Listen, okay. I get that it's very nice. Is it about Aaron Desner's kid? Like, that's nice. That's sweet. It just annoys me. I just don't like it. I skip it every time it comes on. But I did get emotional thinking about it being Duke Ravengard to Will Ravengard. You know, that like journal of Duke Ravengard's that you can find talking about Will, little baby Will asking if there are mermaids in the Baldur's Gate harbor. Oh my god. That's so sad. Anyway, our last song from the Tortured Poets Department is The Manuscript. Now this I was very tempted to have as a Jaheira song for the same reasons as Dear Reader. But then I thought about it more and I thought, oh, this is a song about regretting an unfortunate relationship. A relationship where there was an age gap, where there was a power dynamic imbalance. And also it's a little bit pretentious and talking about books again. And so obviously it could only be one person, and that person is Gale. There's also the added thing of like, now she can only sleep in her mother's bed. And I think particularly like the relationship between Gale and his mother, and also Gale and Tara, it all ties in with that. And if I think about it too long, I'm gonna get upset. Okay, 11 albums down. We are now on to our final album, and the latest album, which literally came out less than a week ago when I'm recording this. The Life of a Showgirl. Listen, okay, there are a lot of opinions being thrown around on the internet about whether or not this is a good album. This always happens. This happens every time Taylor Swift releases an album. I personally don't really care whether people like it or not, because I personally really enjoyed it. And that's all that matters. That's all that should matter, is whether you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, don't listen to it. But I personally really like it because I like happy pop music. Side note, can we talk about how wild it is that The Life of a Showgirl came out on the same day that season 4 of Critical Role premiered? What a day. What a day to be me specifically. I didn't even know what to do with all that excitement. Anyway, our first song and the lead single off of The Life of a Showgirl, The Fate of Ophelia. Oh my god, I love this song. And this song is decidedly a Gale song. That just felt so obvious to me because she literally talks about being stuck in a tower. You know who was stuck in a tower for an entire year before our adventure begins? This guy. And also the, like, pretentiousness of it being related to, like, a Shakespeare thing. It's all very... Not that I'm saying Shakespeare is necessarily pretentious, but, like, you know what I mean? It's all very Gale. It's very, very Gale. Elizabeth Taylor. This is a Will song, I feel like. It's another song that's about, like, you know, public appearances, public perception, and just wanting to be in love and not knowing how love ties into all of that. And it just feels like a Will song. Opalite. This is one of the happiest, most bubbly pop songs she has ever done, and I think this is an Astarion song. Go with me on this one. I understand that that is perhaps a bit of a wild card, but I pulled lyrics for this. I had a bad habit of missing lovers past. My brother used to call it eating out of the trash. This doesn't work when you have a New Zealand accent. But you know, he quite literally used to eat out of the trash. He used to have to eat rats. Ew. I thought my house was haunted. I used to live with ghosts, you know, that's Cazador's palace. Oh my lord, never made no one like you before. You had to make your own sunshine, but now the sky is opalite. Again, anything that ties in with sunshine makes me think of Astarion because he finally got to feel the sun again after 200 years. And I am not thinking about the fact that he has to go to the Underdark in the end. I'm not thinking about it. I don't want to think about it. It'll make me sad. But then the line that really just was the deciding factor in this for me was, you finally left the table, and what a simple thought, you're starving till you're not. Oh, it's Astarion! That's an Astarion song. Number 4, Father Figure. This is a Karlach song. Oh, this is Karlach and Gortash all over. Karlach does have a bigger dick than Gortash. It's true, she told me. Eldest Daughter. This is our track 5. Can I be honest? I don't like this song. But I understand that the song is not for me, as I am a youngest daughter. I can't relate to this. But this is a Shadowheart song. Now, I may not like this song, but I do like the way that it relates to Shadowheart. I pulled lyrics. I have been afflicted by a terminal uniqueness. I've been dying just from trying to seem cool, but I'm not a bad bitch, and this isn't savage. That's very, like, you know, Shadowheart trying to be this, like, dark and kind of evil Sharon, but she's actually just such a nice person. She's a nice person who is kind and just loves animals. And then also, every eldest daughter was the first lamb to the slaughter, so we all dressed up as wolves. Oh my god. Because, like, her dad was a werewolf. And the whole being the first lamb to the slaughter, it makes me emotional. Ruin the friendship. Hey, this song took a turn, huh? None of us were expecting that. This is a Karlach song. It felt like a Karlach song at the start, and then it felt even more of a Karlach song when, plot twist, the love interest dies. It's a Karlach song, I'm sorry. Actually romantic. What a song. I love this song. I have mentioned that I am a Shadowheart Lae'zel truther, but I do love the idea of this being a Lae'zel song about Shadowheart. Lae'zel sees Shadowheart as a tiny chihuahua in a purse barking at her, who just fell down. Stop. I also thought this could be a Minthara song, but I think the Lae'zel Shadowheart beef is too funny for it not to be a Lae'zel song. Wishlist. This is a Halcyon song. Everybody else, they want all of that success. They want the fame and the glory and the riches. Halsin just wants to settle down and hang out under a tree. He just wants to be a bear and hibernate with the love of his life for a bit. And he deserves that. He deserves that so bad. The next song is Wood. This is Halsin. I don't think I need to say anything more about that. It's a Halsin song. Cancelled! In all caps with an exclamation point. I didn't like this song either. This is my other skip from the album. It's only 2 songs I don't like. It's Eldest Daughter and this one. But this is a Minthara song. Honey. This is an Astarion song. Because the whole vibe of it is like all of these terms of endearment that have been thrown at you and they've never felt genuine. All of this affection and this attention has never felt genuine until you find the person that you love. And that is very Astarion, because he has been used for his body for so many years, and that is so heartbreaking. But then he finds someone he can truly connect with and who truly makes him feel loved. And I mean, I will repeat one last time, this is a man who does not think he is worthy of love. But this is a song that speaks to finally finding someone who makes you feel loved, who makes you feel safe and appreciated, and I am emotional about it. Our final song, the final song of this whole thing, the final song of the album The Life of a Showgirl, is the song The Life of a Showgirl. And this song goes to Jaheira. I feel like it's very fitting to end on a Jaheira song when, you know, Jaheira is a companion from the previous Baldur's Gate games. That just makes sense to me. But this is a Jaheira song for the same reason that Dear Reader is a Jaheira song. All of these young kids coming up and being like, you're living my dream, you're living the life of my dreams, and Jaheira being like, you don't know the half of it. Again, it's that conversation that she has with Karlach, and then in the end, all the rest of these guys are adventurers, just in the sense that, like, Taylor is talking about meeting a showgirl, and then by the end of it, she's the showgirl. It all comes full circle. Wow. This is a lot. This is really a lot. Can you tell that I'm unemployed? Oh boy. Hey, if you made it to the end of this video, I'm impressed. I wasn't sure I'd make it to the end of this video. But if you did, thank you so much for watching and for indulging whatever is going on in my brain. The perfect culmination of 2 of my biggest, like, hyperfixations. I don't have much to say in the way of a conclusion because I have been filming this for 3 hours and I am tired. But if you want to support this channel, consider becoming a channel member. Once there's enough people involved and interested, I'll be setting up a little Discord channel for us all to hang out and chat, and potentially for people to help me out on upcoming World of Warcraft videos where I may need a few extra hands to help me go through some instances. I think that's all I have to say. I need to have a lie down. Okay, that's all. Bye!